There's so many things that have transpired over the course of last week that there's just not enough time in the day for me to record a podcast on every single issue. I think oftentimes what could be the most important piece of information that I could communicate to anyone that aspires to put together some colossal trades from the perspective as a trader. And so in this podcast, yes, I want to talk about some things that are going on. I'm not going to be able to cover all of them, but the most important thing is this. As a trader, it always boils down to your ability to believe in yourself as a trader to be able to beat the market. Okay, so most of the traders lack that. So most of the traders, once you catch a few bad trades, are like, man, fuck, I'm probably not meant for this. I'm probably not destined to do this. I mean, this market, it's fucking me up. It's doing this. Is that like that is why so many traders don't make it as a trader, because they can't hold their ground, because they can't stick to the same strategy. Well, these strategies don't work. How long have you tried it? Man, I tried it for a week, dude. It doesn't fucking work. Like, that's the kind of shit. Like, you think, like, people are so spoiled these days. They come into trading, like, and it also has to do with the reason why people come into trading. They're like, man, I want to make some quick money. But good luck. You shouldn't be in trading if you want to make some quick money. Like, anybody can get a little bit of luck occasionally and, make a little bit of money. But, like, good luck actually being able to repeat that consistently time after time. So in order to do that in trading, you got to stick to one strategy. In one strategy only, and not change your motherfucking mind about the market every day the market is open. Oh my God, it looks green. I'm buying calls. Oh my God, well shit, it don't look green anymore. I'm buying puts. Fuck it. If you are the slave of the next candle, and God forbid you're watching 1 minute candle or 5 minute candle or 10 minute candle, my God. I mean, if you're using that sort of strategy to determine whether you should be buying calls or puts, I mean, fuck. I can guesstimate the size of your account down to maybe $10. Okay? If you really want to make it as a trader, guys, stick to your strategy. Sure, it may not work for a little bit of time. No strategy works every fucking day. That's the thing that most of the people coming to trading don't understand. Okay? Yet, if you stick to one strategy and you utilize it 100% of the time without any deviation, without any bullshit, without emotional crap that, 99.9% of traders go through every fucking day. If you're actually able to stick to one trade, you will beat the market. There is not every day. There's going to be moments to where you're going to be able to beat the market in such a profound way that will set you so far apart from the rest of the traders that you're going to be able to see, I fucking did what 99.99999% of traders will never ever be able to motherfucking do in their life. Because they are the slave of the next candle. So basically, guys, the stuff that is happening now, let's talk about this setup. I think the setup is the most important thing when it comes to trading, because so many people, they focus on the next candle. Is it green? Is it red? What's going to happen in the next 1 minute? What's going to happen in the next 5 minutes? Well, if you focus on the short-term movement in the market, I mean, you could make a little bit of money, sure. But you will miss the big move. That's the issue. That is an issue with 99% of the traders. They miss the big move. They're like, but it looks so bullish. Oh my God, it fucking collapsed. But man, it looks so bearish. Oh my God, it fucking pumped. Like, the big move is missed because the trader is focusing only on what could be happening in the next half an hour, maybe throughout the day. Maybe, I mean, if a trader's got any kind of balls, he can hold a trade for a couple of days. Whoa. No, but even that cuts you short of, a miracle kind of trade when we're talking about options. Your ultimate trade is when you nail the move for like 3 days in a fucking row. 3 days in a row, like a 3-3-3 or 2-3-3, or even a 9-2-3, like those kind of moves. I mean, they are colossal sequences that, 99.9% of the market participants are going to ignore. They're going to neglect them, and they're not going to capture them. And that's why when you listen to the general media, they're going to be talking about some bullshit that is not even fucking relevant when you are a trader that goes for the big home runs. So, I mean, the choice is yours. I mean, you can trade the next fucking 1 minute or 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but like, what is that shit going to get you? A little payout? You happy with little? I mean, nobody's happy with fucking little. Okay? Nobody. So why do it for the little? I mean, what the fuck? Ask your girlfriend how she feels about that shit. Okay, anyway, the point is this, guys. I mean, you come to trade the markets, okay, to catch some big fucking moves. At a moment when majority of the consensus market participants, majority of everyone that is trading now, okay, are in such a place where they cannot see things drop. And you come out of the motherfucking woods and you say, y'all fucking wrong. As a matter of fact, I've studied history, and history points to a fact that the market is about to collapse like nobody can even fucking imagine. And so naturally, I mean, you can come out with some crazy prediction like that just because, you think that everybody's wrong. But no, that's not the reason why I'm talking about this setup. I'm talking about this setup because there was one point in history where a president started a term at the market top. And that president was believed to be the greatest president that anyone could wish for at that moment. A person of great character, great strength, a person of great business acumen, a person that, nobody could argue would make a bad president. Now, the history shows that that president was arguably the worst president of all times. Yet the moment when he was sworn in, businesses had the highest level of hope that things could only get better. Yet when that president was sworn in, he campaigned on lower taxes, cutting the debt, cutting the fuck out of government spending, and he campaigned for peace in the world. Now, there's only one promise he was able to keep. And it was one thing that goes down in history as a definitely poor decision on behalf of what I would argue still one of the greatest presidents in the United States history. But he gets to inherit total shit, total fucking disaster. I'm talking about Herbert Hoover. 1929. Hoover gets elected. Brilliant man. Out there to help everyone. Nobody could see anything going wrong. The market is up multiple years in a row without dropping by more than 10%. Everyone is excited about the future. Nobody could see anything going wrong. The biggest market collapse within 7, 8 months, 10 months off his presidency. I mean, basically, sure, the market keeps rolling higher. He honestly said that he saw a problem with the market. Nobody wanted to fucking hear it. The greatest drop in the market history, 1929, October. But the point I'm trying to make is the setup that we've got right now in the market is very similar to the one in 1929. And I'm telling you, we may not have to wait till October of 2025. You got a president that, I mean, for some people, is absolute, like, weird. No, he's here because God wanted him to survive the bullet. How can this be? I mean, you have very similar setup, okay? The way Trump wins, and, you know, it's like, you get the general vote, you get the electoral vote, you get the Congress, you get the Senate, you get fucking everything. There was only one time in U.S. history when this has happened, and that was when Hoover was elected in 1929. The expectations for the United States of America to do exceptionally well under the command of such a great president, which he was, way fucking better. Hoover was way better than a lot of the fucking presidents. But even he could not avoid the setup that he was going into in his presidency. You know? And yeah, he you know, people wanted him to go as a president in 1920. You know, he waited. I mean, the guy made a lot of money in mining business back in the day. And, you know, Trump made some money in real estate. Okay, fine. He filed for bankruptcy a couple of times. I mean, Hoover didn't. I mean, he saved the whole country of Belgium single-handed. With his own money. Nobody asked him to do that shit. He fucking went in during World War I, 1914, saves Belgium from Germany. You know, does some crazy shit. Mississippi River saves, collects money, goes organized. Nobody asked the guy to do anything. Like, he was probably one of the greatest characters in the United States history, probably top 5 presidents, but he goes down as one of the worst. No? Why? Because he inherits the shitty setup. The roaring 20s. I would argue what you've seen in the last 3 years and the build-up to what we have now in the market, that, like, people still think they're on 20s. I'm saying this is it. Okay, you have such a similar setup. The market goes high for 3 years without a 10% drop. I'm telling you, Trump is Hoover. That's, unfortunately, I mean, Trump means well, but like the way he's going around trying to do business, threatening people with tariffs and other shit, which is actually the main reason I'm recording this, because next week the whole focus is going to be on tariffs. But hear me out about this long, complex explanation of how you would actually trade next week. I mean, sometimes it really pays to go back and look at the history. I mean, There's not a single Wall Street analyst that's not bullish on deregulation. There's not a single Wall Street analyst that's not bullish on anything that's got to do with Trump policies, with the exception that they should be fucking bearish as fuck. And they should be going back to 1929 and studying this setup that I'm talking to you about today, because it is highly relevant, not just to the charts in the market, but it's highly relevant to, the unanimous sort of market opinion of what's going to happen next. AI is going to explode. Trump is going to build. He's going to put, all these private investment, get people together, put 500 fucking billion into the next AI Stargate. Like, we got all these. How could you go wrong? Well, I mean, how did China go wrong with building a lot of real estate? I mean, that's the first thing Trump should be asking. Like, why all these motherfucking real estate properties are empty and being taken down in China? Like that. You're going to build all these fucking AI centers, data storage centers all over the fucking place. You're going to spend $500 billion on it. And I guarantee you, like, you watch and re-listen to this message 5 years forward, that shit's going to be empty. Because there is going to be a civil fucking war. I mean, if AI bet is going to pay out, half of the fucking world is going to be unemployed. What do you think is going to happen? What chances does AI have at that point to survive? Like, nobody's talking about it. Everybody's just like, my God, AI. Remember the motherfuckers, AI, they can't think. Like, that's what people were doing in 1929. The stock market, it's going to keep going high. It can only go high, and then the shit can never drop. Bitcoin, 2000, it can only go high. It's the part of the federal. Everybody's ignoring the fucking mess. Trump don't give a shit about Bitcoin. He don't. Why would he be like, hello? Anybody that's really trying to pay close attention to what I'm trying to say here. The dude puts out his own meme coin and his wife's coin 2 days before inauguration. Like, is he interested in promoting Bitcoin and making that a part of the reserve, or is he really interested in just capitalizing on the moment in crypto history where everybody's just so fucking brainwashed to be like, oh my God, well, Trump, he's all in, he's even doing his own coin. No, like that's damaging to crypto. The fact that, I mean, the president of the United States fucking launches his coin, launches his wife's coin. And, if you study the history of the wallets, I'm talking about hardcore data, okay? As of now, like, there is twice more losing wallets on Trump coin than, the wallets that make money. So you have basically a historic launch. President of the United States launches crypto. It goes to total shit for the majority of the people, meaning they put money in it because they thought it was the next greatest motherfucking trade, and they lose money on it, with the exception of the few people that got in, right before or, within the first hour of the launch. Those are the only people who are still making money now. Those people that thought, oh my God, well, the next thing is Melania. I mean, man, them people are really fucked. I mean, if you bought Melania, I mean, you're really fucked. In a gangster kind of way. Just like her outfit was at the inauguration. I mean, you got fucked in a gangster way. I mean, you're down so badly. I mean, for anyone that got hyped up about Trump coin and Melania coin, you're sitting like, unless you bought them. Well, I can't even say that about Melania coin, because even if you bought it within the first hour, you're still fucked now. If you held it thinking that shit's going to go to the moon. So basically, I mean, within those two coins, more people lost money in crypto. Literally. I mean, handing people, literally, like an average person that trades crypto, just handed money over to fucking Trump. And that's supposed to be good for crypto. You got a record number of people sitting at a fucking loss. Okay? Sure, a few people Oh, but if you people made money, we can't call it inside trading. Sure, we cannot do that because, hey, well, that's Trump coin. It's the greatest shit in the world, right? Well, not if you bought it at 50. Not if you bought it at 60. Oh, my God. And you really got fucked if you bought it at 90. So the point is this, like, I mean, if Trump really cared about Bitcoin, I mean, would he be launching his own coin? No, that's just, like, that's bullshit. So for people that think, okay, Bitcoin is going to go higher as a result of Trump launching a couple of his own coins, like, man, you see where the guy's priority is. I mean, so, like, what I'm saying is, you live in a fucking la-la land thinking that all of this shit that's happening now is actually positive for the crypto. The shit is about to collapse, okay? And for those of you that bought MSTR puts, like, you know, that's the easiest fucking trade to put on. But the point is this. You have a setup in 1929 that is very similar to the current moment. And, you know, there's also something similar that I would like to elaborate maybe at some other time, but for the purpose of making a point in this podcast, I just want to, you know, refresh the history on some things real quick. So McKinley is the 25th president going into the 1800s. We're like 1890. I mean, he gets elected in 1897, McKinley. But before he got elected as a president, he had this great idea of tariffs. And, you know, hello, anybody watch the fucking inauguration? Well, Trump was like, man, that is the shit. Like, we already knew Reagan was Trump's hero, you know, for all the protectionist policies and all that stuff. But now he basically said, my God, there's one guy that I really love more than Reagan, and that is McKinley. And I want to rename a mountain in Alaska after McKinley. Guys, if that didn't send a message, like, if you actually study history, McKinley actually got a nickname of a war president. Now, Trump clearly campaigned on world peace, but he spent more time during his inauguration speech talking about renaming a fucking mountain in Alaska after President McKinley than he spent about making sure he brings peace in Ukraine and he brings peace in the Middle East. What does that fucking tell you? Read between the lines. Okay, he can say he wants to leave a legacy of peace and, you know, blah, 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 bullshit. You go study McKinley. He campaigned on peace, but, oh my God. Shoot, I mean, like, I don't want to spend time on that in this podcast, guys, but, like, you go look it up. Okay, McKinley. Okay, 4 or 5 wars. I mean, how do you think United States got Puerto Rico? How do you think United States temporarily got control over Cuba? How do you think fucking United States got Guam? How do you think United States, started a war with Spain? How do you think, you know, United States army raped and killed thousands of people in Philippines within the same presidency time of McKinley? So he campaigned on peace, but exactly the opposite happened when he actually became the president. And that is shocking to someone that actually served as a soldier during the Civil War and have seen the horrors of the wars. So, I mean, they can campaign on whatever shit. They can say whatever the fuck they want to say. But the point is, like, there's not a single politician besides Herbert Hoover who said, I want world peace, and actually meant it. Like, that's the crazy shit. He goes down in the history as the worst fucking president out of all fucking presidents, yet that is the most sincere fucking guy who actually meant well. He didn't want to go around the world telling the whole world what the fuck to do. He didn't want to go kill innocent people in Philippines and rape the fuck out of them. He didn't want to do all that shit. He said no. Now, partially, I mean, it was due to his religious beliefs. I mean, he was Iowa. He was a Quaker. You know, peace was important to him. Now, some presidents say peace is important, but, you know, that's what the words that are coming out their mouth say, but that's not what the actions say. I mean, the first thing Trump says when he becomes the president, like, man, we're going to increase our defense, like military fucking spending, goes to the moon. Like, that's what Reagan did. Okay, that's what McKinley did. Okay, that's not what Hoover did. Okay, but Hoover did one thing that is very synonymous with Trump. That's why we're reviewing that setup, which is the Smoot-Haley Act, which was a tariff that initially was a tariff to help the farmers out in the United States. Now, many people don't know that because, you know, hey, farming is just such a small part of the economy now. Nobody even gives a shit. But back then, okay, farmers were, I mean, it almost like you can almost go back in time and track preceding to the 1929 crash that it was the farming industry that had such a problem that government needed to protect them. And the best idea they came up with to protect the farmers was to say, hey, we got to tariff the shit out of the world so our farmers in the United States can do well. Well, by the time the bill gets to Congress and Senate and all that shit, they're like, well, if we're going to do this for farmers, we might as well do it for a lot of other things. And so by the time the bill gets approved, instead of just tariff, you know, agriculture, you know, it's like 2,000 things that being tariffed the fuck out of the world. And the world's got a problem with it, okay? The world basically says, well, you know, you're talking about the whole Europe, okay, that's on the decline, you know, after World War I. I mean, Germany, hyperinflation, you know, nobody can pay their debts. I mean, Germany's got to pay the debts to France. France is not getting the money. Where did France get the money? They got it from United States. France cannot pay back United States. I mean, it's a whole domino effect, basically. I mean, that's how Hoover inherits this bad setup. You know, the world economy was going to shit. So when I'm talking about the setup of 1929, that, in my view, one of the greatest presidents in the United States, who went down in history as one of the worst when he inherits that situation. I mean, he tries to do a lot of things that he's done in the past, helping people out, but the situation is just so out of control that he can't save the fucking world. He can't save the United States of America. All right. And what I'm saying is, you're looking at this setup now. You're looking at it. You're staring it in the eyes. You got 1929 set up. And if we follow the historic analog, you could say, well, okay, so basically the crash is going to happen in October of 2025 if we follow this historic analog. But what I'm saying is, I mean, historic analogs, they're not like day-to-day precise. At times they are, but, you know, basically, you know, the kind of setup that Trump inherits, the kind of tariffs that are going to be on everyone's mind, you know, this coming week, if you understand how to trade them, you will make a colossal amount of money in this market. And it's not going to be by buying calls. It's going to be by buying puts on a lot of things. So, guys, the situation is dire. The setup that is perceived by 99% of market participants as such a highly bullish setup. I mean, if you study the history, this setup is total shit. And things can unwind in such a way that nobody can even see how bad shit can get. Now, you may think that, you know, it doesn't make sense. You could follow the rest of the crowd. You can even ignore, man, I've talked a lot about BlackRock. And recently at Davos, Think gave a speech where he said, "Hey guys, we're basically bullish on the market, but we cannot discount the fact that the market can fucking collapse the fuck out because inflation is going to spiral the fuck out to the upside." That's what we have been telling you here at 30 Market Moves channel. For the last year, we said everyone is fucking wrong in inflation. Inflation is about to go to the fucking moon. And I can give you 100 gazillion reasons why inflation is going to go to the moon, but then, it'll take a whole separate podcast to do that. So the point is this: inflation is going to go to the moon. If you cannot even pay attention to a guy that, runs, $11 trillion who tells you, hey, this is one of the scenarios, and do you think BlackRock, where basically, every United States citizen that is about to retire, their whole fate is in the hands of BlackRock because that's where basically all the fucking money is. And the owner of BlackRock tells you that shit could get really ugly, and you're there sitting and you're going to be like, man, but we got Trump as a president, but, there's so many things that are bullish, but nothing could go wrong. But then be like, man, this is the sort of euphoria we've seen in 1929 when Hoover took over, and then he comes out with a Smoot and Haley Act, 2,000 fucking tariffs, tariffs are placed on, that's not 2,000, sorry, 20,000 fucking products. At a time where world's economy is going to shit, like European economy is going to shit, and now you're going to tariff the fuck out of Europe, and now you're going to tariff the fuck out of Mexico and Canada, and you're going to tariff the fuck out of China, and you're going to be, look, Smoot and Haley Act is arguably one of the worst decisions made by a president in the entire history of the United States. That arguably is one of the reasons why United States went into a severe depression. And if you're going to ignore that as a trader, you probably will miss on some of the greatest short selling opportunities of your life, because what you're doing is you're listening to so many people that are bullish beyond their fucking mind, but yet you're ignoring some simple signs. Okay, do you think BlackRock telling you that they are considering this scenario, do you think that they're not positioning for it? Do you think if Larry Fink wasn't so good at keeping his cool about what he said, like when you listen to the guy talking about a probability of a fucking collapse, like the guy says it as if he's like ordering coffee at Starbucks. He's like, yeah, man, give me this thing over here. He talks about it like it is just non-eventful. But you should really listen to what the fuck he said. So sometimes you really gotta, the way he delivered the message about it was like, okay, everything is fine, everything's good, the market is good, everything. But, we're looking at the probability of a motherfucking collapse here. But guys, this is just one of the probabilities. Things are good. We're good. We're overall constructive on the market. Yeah, we're cautiously constructive, but goddamn, 1929 can happen. But yeah, sure, but no, guys, everything is good. Like when you listen to this guy talking about a catastrophe waiting to happen, you wouldn't even think that that's what he's trying to say, because the guy's is so good at maintaining his cool is while he's talking about, a fucking 1929 type setup, a collapse publicly in front of millions of people, and he gets away with it. It's because of the way he's delivering the message. But see him even mentioning this, okay, is something that should not be ignored. Because if he is mentioning this in front of millions of people, guess what he's trying to do? He's trying to save his ass. So in a year from now, they can play that clip back and he'd be like, but hey, guys, I told you so. I said it. I know I was not in a state of panic, which most of you probably would have heard the message a little bit. But like, what I'm saying is the state of panic to this guy is actually even just simply mentioning and talking about it. This is a scenario that most of the people are fucking blinded to now. This is a scenario that I personally have been talking about for about a year now. And the markets kept going high. Now, that didn't prevent us from making some colossal trades on things that did go down. But what you're about to see is nothing, it's nothing compared to some of the moves we've seen in a lot of things. So the opportunity is there. If you're a short seller, but you've missed a lot of things that went down in 2024, which a lot of things fucking went down by a lot. And so if you missed those, maybe you shorted some things that kept going up. Hey guys, there's something I've shorted that kept going up, after the July crash, August 5th crash. And yeah, but sure, that's not going to stop me from shorting it today, tomorrow, next week. Next week could be too late, but hey, what I'm saying is, you have to, as a trader, you have to believe in your strategy. You got to stick to it. And that's how you're going to beat the market. And oftentimes those moments are going to come by understanding the setup, the 1929 setup, Hoover, Smoot, Haley Act, tariffs. I'll talk more about that if you guys really care to understand it and, really understand where this whole trade is going to end up. But honestly, most of the people are going to miss it. Most of the traders are going to miss it. I'm going to tell you why most of the traders are going to miss it. Most of the traders will miss this life-changing opportunity as a trader is because they going to buy into what the rest of the market is looking at right now. They're so going to be brainwashed by the bulls. Oh, this shit can only go high. Everything looks good. They're going to ignore every message about inflation. They're going to ignore every message about the trade deficits, the budget deficits, the, countries' debt. All this shit, guys, there's so many signs that are there. There's so many signs that are there that the market has arrived at a point of no motherfucking return. It could drop in such a profound way that most of the people are just simply not ready for right now. And the reason an average trader is not ready for it because there's so many new traders that came into the trading game in the last 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, and none of these traders understand that the market can go down. That's the biggest problem, is people have been conditioned to be buying the dip and things go up, buy the dip, things go up, buy the dip, things go up. That's the strategy that has worked in the last 3 years because the market has never dropped more than 10%. Now, what I'm saying is this is about to change, and if you're going to keep utilizing the same strategy that made you money in the last 3 years, okay, you're about to lose it all. Seriously. I know it sounds fucking crazy, but like people could not see the market go down in 1929. Please fucking understand this. They could not fucking see it. A few traders saw it. I'm saying we're in 2025. I'm telling you now, shit does not have to go to 2029 to crash. I'm telling you, we're here. The setup that I've tried to explain in this podcast, it has arrived. It is here now. And, you know, if you haven't been around the markets, you know, in 87, you haven't been in markets in 2000, 2021, 2000, 2001, 2007, 2008. If you missed some of the colossal turnarounds in the market, you know, in 18, 20, 21, you know, gosh, there's so many instances, okay? And I haven't even scratched the surface because I haven't even talked about crypto in the downsides that stuff can make. So what I'm saying is, everything is here for this trade. The question is, do you have the right state of mind to see it, or are you just simply gonna do what most of the people did in 1929? They went fucking broke. Simply because they thought that, well, hey, how can we go wrong? The fucking market in the 1920s were so beautiful. People were making money. They were borrowing money. They put in more money in the market. It's like, look, the signs are there. You have MSTR buying billions of dollars in Bitcoin. Where do they get the money? They fucking sell bonds. Now that nobody wants to buy MSTR bonds anymore, they're diluting their shares so they can buy more Bitcoin. I mean, that is the equivalent of 1929, where people were just blind and they said there's nothing that can go wrong to the market because it's going to keep fucking going higher. You have the same election. You have the same president. You have the same expectations from the business community. Everything is there. The setup. This is a 1929 setup and people are fucking blind. Okay? Everything that you listen to in the news today, anything that is covered by a normal, Wall Street analyst, okay? Normal meaning like, they don't think outside the box. They don't study the fucking history. They're fucking clueless because they're getting paid obscene bonuses to think that markets are going to keep going higher. There's going to be... Look, the point is, Wall Street, from time to time, gets greedy. There is a setup that you can identify in the charts from time to time where everyone is fucking wrong. And I'm telling you, this is the moment that Wall Street got greedy. This is the moment that expectations are running too fucking high. This is the moment that you can strike as a short seller in such a fucking way where 99% are about to lose everything they fucking made in the last few years. There's going to be 1%, which is going to be the 1% that has the vision to short the market, that are going to make their life fucking fortunes. And so if you want to hear more breakdown on some of these ideas, or you want to understand it a little bit better, you can certainly subscribe to the channel, but the best way to do it is to actually trade with the 13 Market Moves coach. And the way you would do that is you would go to 13mmtv.com. You go to 13marketmoves.com, put in your information, schedule a call, talk to someone here at 13 Market Moves. Understand that timing is everything in the markets. And if you get to short it at all-time historic highs when you got a 1929 type setup, I mean, guys, some of you just either get it, and some of you are just not going to fucking get it, and that's just it. So, but I can sleep good by knowing that at least I recorded this message, and some of you will get it and you'll understand it and you'll be ready for what's coming. Literally, we're days away from it. We're not 10 months away from it. We're not 9 months away from it. I'm telling you that this shit is about to fucking happen. And if you understand the tariffs and the Smoot-Hawley Act, and if you understand the McKinley and the Reagan presidency and the Hoover presidency, guys, this is once-in-a-lifetime trade that is such a sure fucking thing that if you don't take it, you might as well not fucking trade. That's it. So, if you understand what the fuck I just explained to you, you will be set for life. And the only thing you got to do is get in touch with the 13 Market Moves Coach today. I'm recording this on January 21st, 2025. And the shit that you're about to see in the markets is absolutely not anything that anyone is expecting to see. Now, you can watch the show or you can be a part of the movie cast. Which one do you want to be? Let's fucking roll.